everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to Mystical Munchies Out of the World of Warcraft New Flavors of Azeroth cookbook. After our appetizer, side, and entree, we're on to the dessert this week, Tweet's Flavorful Flan. This is by far the most challenging recipe I've ever taken on, so we'll see how this goes. We'll tell a little bit of story first. This one's from Tiragard Sound. The bounty of Stormsong Valley sustains the island nation of Kultiras, and a significant portion of that harvest comes from the valley's long-established orchards. This flan showcases the famous peaches of Kultiras, although I found that tasty variations of it can be made with other seasonal fruits as well. So we are going to end up doing this with peaches, but we'll see that when we move over to the table. Before we head over to the table where the ingredients are waiting for us, I do want to address the elephant in the room. As you can probably see with my haircut, I did have my head shaved last week. I finally got sick of the receding hairline, so I'm going to try the bald look for a few months and see what I think. You guys can go ahead and weigh in the comments down below. It was a bit of a shock at first, but I think I'm starting to get used to it. Whether I keep it or not remains to be seen. Anyway, enough about that. The ingredients are waiting for us at the table, so let's head over there. I will apologize in advance for some of the background noise. In fact, let me see if I can kill this. Alright, I actually had the range hood fan going just to try to suck some of the steam out of the kitchen, but I think everything's mostly under control now. So, we've got everything ready here. So as far as ingredients go, for the flan itself, we're going to need half a cup of sugar, we've got a tablespoon for water, dash of lemon juice, 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk, half a cup of sour cream, 3 large eggs, 2 tablespoons rum, which I've never cooked with rum before, so this is going to be interesting. What is that? A quarter teaspoon, I can't see over the top of this. Yeah, quarter teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and I almost got oregano, so that would have looked really weird. A tablespoon of butter for salting the ramekins. Peach, which I had to grab a couple of containers of peach chunks for, so it's not going to be the best in the world. What else do we need? A cup of Choral Honey, which is where all of this is going to come in, so that'll bring the vanilla extract back over here. And then some fresh thyme. Of course, I'm going to use prepackaged thyme. And then we need Choral Honey, which is what all of this is going to be for. This takes dash of orange or lemon extract. I found lemon extract. More vanilla extract. An inch knob of fresh ginger sliced thin. I'm going to use ground ginger for that instead. It might be this whole thing. And then a cup of warmed honey. So with that, let's move into the kitchen and we'll start making the Choral Honey. We're going to move over my shoulder for this part of the recipe. There's the 2 tablespoon container that I'll need for the rum later. A little story on the Choral Honey as well. Mildenhall Meadery in Stormsong Valley. While it's technically not true that battles have been fought over this honey, it's good enough to fight over. You can get ordinary honey from any number of sources, but one taste of Choral Honey and you'll know it's something special. So we're going to start off with opening the lemon extract. Got a spoon out as well so I can mix this up. I don't want to go too far with that knife because I'm thinking I'm going to need it. But there's our lemon extract, so close that so we don't get any of this on it. Okay, that's all nice and open. So I'll just put a dash of that in. That's probably more than a dash, but oh well. Then we need a dash of the vanilla extract as well. Then we'll mix in some of the ginger. Normally the way they want you to do this is combine that in a small jar, pour the warm honey over the top, and let sit at room temperature for about a week before you strain it and store indefinitely. But given that I wasn't able to find fresh ginger and thyme is kind of the essence, we're going to use ground ginger instead. So that can go out of shot, and we'll see how we can get this container out as well. Let's see if that seems warm enough to pour yet. I will give that another 10 seconds. Okay, that should be fine. We need a cup of the honey. Oh wow. And I'm going to be just a little bit short. I thought I had more honey than this, but probably just end up using the whole thing anyway. Okay. We'll scoop the rest of as much as we can get of that out. I might have wanted to use another time or two of warming up the honey, but looks like we had a lot better luck with it than we did on the last couple times that we've used honey. So we'll give that. We might be able to pour a little bit more of that in. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right. Give that a quick little stir. Ooh, that smells different. Maybe it's just the first time I'm using ginger in anything, so I'm probably just not used to it is all. You can get the extracts out of shot. Go ahead and mix that up. All right, I'll get that out of the way for the time being. And with that, I think we'll have to move over to the stove next. Let me see what the next part of this is. Oh yes, okay. All right, so yeah, we will need to move over to the stove. I probably should have warned you that I'm going to be doing normal Friday prep as well. And you'll probably hear the egg timer go off in a little under 3 minutes. So I'll try to keep an eye on that and warn you guys when that's about to go off. So with that, now over a medium saucepan over medium heat. Actually, this is probably a little bit bigger than a saucepan that I need. But we're going to take the half cup of sugar. That'll be a bit of a generous half cup, but it'll work. We will need that half cup again, so I don't want to go too far with it. The tablespoon of water, which I left the tablespoon... Oh no, I brought the tablespoon in with me, because I knew I was going to need it. Silly me. Tablespoon of water? Yes. Tablespoon of water, and a dash of lemon juice, which will of course need to be opened. Okay. Nothing more than a dash, but it'll work. Then we're going to mix, and we're going to combine that over medium heat until the liquid turns a nice golden color. So I'll get this into the fridge, and then we'll turn that over medium heat. So we want that to be about a 4. Mixing that up a bit. By the way, about 1 minute warning on the egg timer, so be ready for that. Of course, I left my drink over at my desk, so I will be right back once again. Right, 10-second warning on the eggs. Oop, there we go. Okay, so now let me make sure I kill the right burners. So that one, and my arm's going to pass into shot, hopefully without burning myself. There we go. Okay, looks like we got the right ones. So we'll get the eggs off the... We'll get the eggs out. Along with making sure to keep stirring the sugar mixture. Once again, pardon my arms in front of the camera. That should be the last of anything crazy happening until my game group starts to show up. So now I can get the water off the stove. Okay. Carefully, Phoenix Knight. There we go. Okay. I'll let that drain off. Okay, why? Okay, hang on. Something's... Oh, there we go. It was just taking its sweet time. So we can drop that in. We'll give this a quick stir. Let me see if I can bring the camera over the top a little bit more so you can see the color that we're looking for. We're waiting for a nice golden color. I'll bring the ramekins in. Bring the ramekins into shot so I can move this in once it's ready. I wonder if I can just go ahead and start combining everything else together. I probably could, actually. While this keeps waiting to turn the color I need. Actually, I think we can get the ramekins out of the way. I'm going to need another... Actually, I've got to move the camera just a little bit because I need another baking pan out of the... I'm going to need another baking pan out. That should be... Oh yeah, that'll be plenty tall enough. Just checking the size of one of these off of shot. Just to make sure I've actually got what I need. Next question is, will the ramekins all fit? Okay. A little roomy, but they'll go. We can get that out of my way. Alright, this is actually starting to turn, so I don't want to drift. I don't think I want to drift too far from this pan right now, and actually I need to bring the ramekins back. because those are going to need to go in there pronto. Let's see, I'm probably going to need the hand mixer as well. Trying carefully to get it out because I'd rather not burn myself on hot sugar if I can avoid it. That does not sound like a lot of fun to me. Alright, I can grab the mixing bowl I'm going to need. Give the honey a little bit of a stir as well. That's stirring. Okay, cook for several minutes until the liquid turns a nice golden color, which it hasn't turned yet, so maybe we'll turn this up just a touch. We can probably bring the camera back over the top. I'm probably going to want to let that sit for a little bit now, even though it's not wanting to turn a golden color. Maybe I need more lemon juice in there. So I'll add a little more. It's also possible that this light is, that these kitchen lights are not letting me see when it's actually the color I want it to be. Making sure I've got as much of the sugar out of here, dissolved in here as I can. I also want to make sure that it doesn't scorch. I don't want to risk killing the light here and checking the checking on the liquid, the actual liquid color. I guess I think I'm kind of looking for a nice bright gold out of this. I'm also keeping an eye on the chicken timer, which I've got the oven cooking as well, so just in case you're wondering what else you're hearing besides the occasional stirring when I go to check this. It actually is starting to turn a little bit, but it's still, I think the liquid here is still a little too white from where I want it to be. Did get the mixing bowl out, so we're good there. Oh wow, that is definitely starting to turn now. Okay, I think it's getting close. I'm not too far off from it, I don't think. Let me make sure I've got room in the fridge when I go to put the flans in here. I go to put everything in here. Okay. I think we'll be good here. Oh, look at that. Okay, so I think that's probably where I want it to be. So now, I'm going to go ahead and kill the heat. And then I want to divide that between the 4 ramekins. So yeah, we'll move the camera over toward the ramekins over here. I want to try to divide that between the 4 evenly. Oh boy. Okay. Whoa, easy does it. Okay. We'll swirl it around to coat the bottom with the sugar. So I think they're mostly okay. Check on this one. This one does not want to. Whoa! This one does not seem to want to cooperate with me, but I think it's going. This is the one I'm most worried. Okay, never mind. It's looking like I was panicking on this one. Maybe there's something I'm panicking. Maybe there's something to me panicking on this one. If I can't get that hole. There's a big hole right there, if you can see it. And it's not wanting to fill in for me. Let me just grab the... I'll have to kind of put a thumb on the scale for that. Just try to get it in there a bit. Alright. So I think we got all those roughly coated. So now I'll get those out of shot to cool, and then we'll come back with the mixing bowl ready to go. I do have the hand mixer plugged in as well because I'm expecting I'm going to need that. So now we've got the oven's at 350 right now. I'll probably knock some time off of that. once I move into the oven. But before we get that far, we do need to combine the rest of the ingredients. So we're going to start off with the 14 ounces of condensed milk. So I'm going ahead and pouring that in here. I'm trying to be careful with reading the meniscus, because that was a thing I learned in chemistry class. I think I want a little bit... Nope, I think that's just about where I want it to be. So we'll pour that in. That can go into the fridge. So we wanted 14 ounces of the evaporated... It's actually sweetened condensed milk. This is what I was able to find was evaporated. Half a cup of sour cream. That's nice and easy. Alright. That's a bit of a generous half cup, but by the time we account for what gets stuck to the sides, it'll probably be fine. Okay. That's the half cup of sour cream. That can go back into the fridge. Three eggs. Once again, pardon my arms as I get everything together. One. You get out of my way. By you, I'm looking at the dishes in the sink. Two. Being very careful not to get any eggshell in there. And three. There we are. Okay. We got the 3 eggs. Oops. 2 tablespoons of rum. Let's put the eggs back in the fridge. Back on the top shelf, please. There we are. Right. So we'll go ahead and get this open. And I imagine this gets refrigerated after opening. Even though I know good and well I'm not going to drink it. That can go. Oh boy. Put that in there. 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Once again, I'm using. I think they want fresh nutmeg, but I'm using ground, like you'd find at the grocery store. With 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg. And 1 to 2 dashes of vanilla extract. So we're just going to pour it. So we're just going to hold it over the mixture for like a split second twice. So there's the vanilla extract. 1, 2. Okay. Oop. And then we want to blend the whole thing until smooth. So yeah, blend it until smooth. So once again, we've got the hand mixer ready to go. Low speed will probably do for this purpose. Okay, we'll give it a little more. That should be plenty smooth, so I'll go ahead and eject these, the beater bars. And I'll put those over in the dishes as well, so those are ready to be washed. Alright, now we want to butter the ramekins. Should be plenty cool by now. Okay. So we've got the butter right here. Like we butter the sides, we said, right? Yes. Okay. What the? Oh, that must be just a... Okay, I think that's probably fine. Okay. All right. I know this isn't the most exciting thing in the world. 3. And 4. I'll get a baggie out for... Actually, I can probably fit this in one of these snack baggies. And off real quick. Alright, now we want to divide the flan mixture between the 4 ramekins. So I'm going to grab another spoon out for that. Now we want to pour the flan in. Oh, hang on, we're going to have to do a little bit more. We're going to have to partition this off a little bit. Okay. Right, I'm going to take a little bit from this one. Try to make them a little bit more even. Okay, I think that'll work. Alright, perfect. Now we want to move the ramekins to the aforementioned baking pan that we had earlier, which is this little bad boy right here. Didn't need the spoon for that. Three. This might be a little bit touchy, but I think... Okay, never mind. So that actually worked out perfectly. Then we actually need to move over to the sink. This balancing act is fine for now, but it's a disaster waiting to happen once we get into the next step. So we're going to move over to a point where it's not going to hit any of the flan, but we're going to fill this up until it's about halfway up the ramekins. So we'll go ahead and pour this very carefully. Oh boy. Okay, so I think we gotta kill it there. I don't think that's as high as I wanted it to go, but no help for that. So we'll actually move back over to the countertop. So that's where we're at right now. And then I want to bake the flans. At 325, you'd normally bake this for 30 to 45 minutes, but because I'm at 350, I'm probably going to move toward the end of that range. So I'll put these in. Let's go. Let's see what kind of timer I've got here. 30 to 45. I've got a 40-minute timer here. I'll use that. So we'll move this into the oven. I'm going to move that out of my way. Moving into the oven. Okay, I'm going to tip this all the way down because I don't trust the... Alright. Carefully. There we go. Alright, so we'll start the 40-minute timer. And then we'll come back once that timer goes off. The timer for the flans just went off, and I forgot to mention before I started the timer that the consistency that we were looking for is the outsides of the flans are set, but the middles are a little wobbly. So I'm going to bring this over here, and we'll get these. Whoa! Oh boy. Okay, easy does it. Oh wow. Right, I will... Okay, I like what I'm seeing from the... We'll kill that. I'm liking what I'm seeing from the... What I was seeing is I was moving them out of the stove over to the counter to cool. So now what I want to do is I'm going to give them another check. Okay, that seems wobbly. Okay, good. So now I'm going to start those cooling for 15 minutes. And then after the 15-minute timer goes off, then I'm going to move them into the refrigerator to cool for about 2 hours. We'll come back in about an hour, I would say, to make the topping. This part of the recipe may be slightly problematic because it actually calls for a fresh peach. But I couldn't find any peaches when I was out at the grocery store, so I'm using prepackaged peach chunks. I did try to drain as much of the syrup off as I could. So I'll just put those into a medium saucepan. Along with a 1/4 cup of the Choral Honey, which I was not letting sit and marinate for a week. Which will probably just be all of this. Mix that in. And then finally, we'll just take a pinch of thyme. So similar to what I've done before. Then we'll let that simmer over, here it is, over medium-low heat, stirring occasionally until all of the honey gets absorbed. Then when we come back, we'll be ready for the ramekins. So I did a little bit of preparation here. Before I turned the camera back on, I did run a knife along the edges of the flans. I've been pronouncing it wrong all video. I'm a little bit worried about how the peach mixture is going to top, just because I ended up buying the prepackaged peaches rather than the fresh peaches that the recipe actually called for, but we'll find out soon enough. So now that I'm ready to serve the flans, now that I've done that, I did put the flans in a dish of hot water to try to warm the caramel up. So now we're going to take one of these, tip it over on a serving plate. Whoa. Oh, okay. Looks like that came out pretty well. So now I'll top that with some of the peach topping. I'll do that for all of them. And then we'll have a couple of firsts for the taste test in Mystical Munchies. The first of which is we'll be moving over to the table instead. So I mentioned this being a pair of firsts on Mystical Munchies. The first was that we were moving back to the table. The second first, as you can see, is that I'm not alone. I've got my gaming group right here as well. So we've got Ethan right in front of me, Drew, and Kevin. Since the recipe makes exactly 4 servings, I've asked them to help me with the taste test. So, gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a taste and go ahead and weigh in on the recipe. It is a little bit runny, but I think some of that's from some of the decisions I had to make in a pinch.
I like the peaches.
Yep. Peaches are nice touch.
And the runniness isn't that bad.
No, I don't think it's an issue once you get into it.
It's interesting, yeah. I like it. I've never had flan before, so I can't really compare it to anything.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
Yes,
I like it.
I do kind of like it as well. Maybe, like I said, the runniness maybe bothered me a little bit more than it should have, and I think if I was able to actually get a fresh peach with it, it probably would have turned out, I probably would have been a lot happier with it because the honey would have actually maybe absorbed into it a lot better. Plus, with the coral honey, which it wants a week to marinate properly anyway, but since I really didn't have the time to let it marinate properly, I just couldn't do anything with that. But it seems like it was a big hit. A lot of effort, though, that's for sure. But that will do it for this episode of Mystical Munchies. Next week, we'll be making the first drink on Mystical Munchies and the last recipe out of the New Flavors of Azeroth cookbook, Lava Colada. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.